We can include an entry by selecting a cell, then typing. Cell A1 is already selected. You may notice people committing entries with this tick button. There is no need to use that button, because entries are automatically committed when the active cell is changed. In fact, we need to deliberately cancel an entry whenever we start editing a cell by mistake, or we change our minds. We can populate a cell, and then simply press Enter, or Tab, or any one of the arrow keys, or even by going to the Backstage menu. If we want to cancel an entry from being committed, we can delete the content, or click this cross button. Or press the Escape key. This automatic commitment of entries is part of the way that Excel operates. It allows us to work more quickly than we would if we needed to confirm each entry. However, it also increases the risk of accidental changes being made. When we type content into a workbook, it goes into the active cell. If only one cell is selected, that cell is the active cell. When multiple cells are selected, the active cell is shaded differently than the other cells in the selection. The Tab and Enter keys can be used to cycle through the cells in a selection. As before, Tab moves the active cell right. Enter moves the active cell down. And holding Shift reverses the direction of Tab and Enter. So far, we have been making entries in Enter mode. The current mode is shown by this indicator. The indicator most commonly shows Ready, which is the default message that is displayed when nothing else is being brought to your attention. Enter when in Enter mode, or Edit when in Edit mode. We can also make entries in Edit mode. Edit mode is very similar to Enter mode, except that Edit mode is slightly more suited to making changes. If we select a cell and start typing, we will be in Enter mode, and overwrite anything that was there before. If we switch to Edit mode before typing, we will make changes to any existing entry. In Edit mode, the arrow keys are used to move within the text of the entry rather than changing the selection. We can engage Edit mode by clicking in the formula bar, here Excel is in Edit mode for an empty cell. Pushing the arrow keys doesn't change anything, because the only relevant position is at the start. If we populate the cell and try the arrow keys again, the cursor moves. We can also move the cursor by pointing and clicking with the mouse. We can engage Edit mode by double-clicking a populated cell. Then, the cursor appears in the cell rather than in the formula bar. If we are already using the mouse, this can be faster because we don't have to move the mouse to the cell, then the formula bar. However, it can be more cumbersome when trying to select text outside the rectangle of the active cell. We can also engage edit mode by pressing the F2 key. After making our intended changes in edit mode, the modified entry will be automatically committed when we change the active cell. Edit and enter modes are very similar. You generally won't be thinking about which one is active, but knowing that there is a difference can help to avoid confusion, especially with the arrow keys. We can clear the contents of a cell by selecting it, then pressing the delete key. We could delete the contents of all these cells by selecting each one individually and pressing the delete key each time. Or by selecting them all together and pressing the delete key once. My YouTube channel includes more videos teaching Excel. Feel free to click that like button if you found this helpful, leave a comment if there is a particular area that you're interested in, and subscribe to be notified when new videos are available. The excelfinancialmodeling.com website has more free resources. All the links are in the description.